Welcome back, everybody. Here we are. I'm gonna have a miserable time editing all these. I just have a bunch of raw footage right now, and I have to go through and get time codes for each one and figure out what spots the recording stopped in different parts. Alright, I'm gonna just say this. It's not about Rudo being sexy or anything, because it's not what I was gonna say. I was actually gonna talk about Mifa. Mifa is probably my favorite. Urbos is my favorite champion in Breath of the Wild. Mifa's a close second. I adore Mifa. And her brother's dope too. Ruda's fine. She's cool. Dude, everyone wants to marry Link in this game. So for those who don't know, she was like, oh, I'm going to marry you or whatever. Which, okay, to be fair here, this is another critique I have. Just with the unfinished properties of this game. Or the unincluded properties of this game, I should say. I said before the Fire Temple, I thought it was cool that as a child you establish with Darunia that you're a sworn brother and all that. And then later on you get the Fire Tunic by bombing the guy and his name is yours and all this stuff, right? Like, it's a cool way to flesh out the characters, as I said. And then when you meet Darunia again as a sage, he's like, oh, I was right to call you my brother. Like, there's a bunch of cool stuff that, that's interesting that like, it comes full circle with Darunia and Link. So I wonder, again, if the Ice Cavern and stuff like that, if you were to able to interact with the Zoras as an adult, would there be more fleshing out of that whole Rudo wanting to marry Link scenario? You know what I mean? Alright, well. She's up in the tree, Link. This is something else I'm curious about. Dude, Link, you're horrible, dude. Ah! You're not gonna see her swimming away. Link didn't just notice that, and then he can just walk up, just be like, Sheik, I like literally just be like this, like, Sheik, come on, I saw you. And then this is where you get the fire arrows because the sun is rising, and you're supposed to shoot it, and then it lands right there, and then you go get it, right? The fire arrows don't really do anything for you. This is something I've always been curious about. What is this? What made this, like, I've always thought that. I don't think I ever... Alright, so... Is that just a... It's just a piece of Hyrule floating in the lake. Okay. So that part, that slash mark in the tree, the part we're about to come to, there's an attack on Kakariko Village, right? Like the Bongo Bongo or whatever, the monster in the well, he's attacking the village. I wonder, and I think there might be some evidence to this, of the monster that was taking the lake, that drained the lake, if it was the thing that made that slash mark in the tree. I don't know, whatever. Well, something I was going to say, I think it's cool. It does make you feel like the hero of Hyrule and everything. When you go around and the world is in disarray and you're repairing it as you go, I think that's cool. Again, it would be awesome if... I don't think I needed to do that. It'd be awesome if we could unfreeze Zora's domain. I also do wish, and I wonder if they had planned on it, for Gerudo Valley. You can't go there as a kid, and if you try to, they just tell you to fuck off. But do part of the Spirit Temple as a child, and partially kind of the Shadow Temple as a child, which is cool. So there's technically a balance in between each of the temples. So like the Forest Temple, part of the full circle of it is with like your relationship with Saria, and then you come back and you play the song, and that's how you get access, right? Oh yeah, the ranch. I forgot. The ranch has Epona, and she's kidnapped by Luigi. That's another cool part. I always like that part of the game. And there's another Poe around here somewhere. Losing my train of thought here. So yeah, I like the balance between kid and adult. I kind of wish they would play more around. Well, I guess it would have been cool if they had played more around with the idea of bouncing back and forth between child and adult. They do it with some of the side questing. I just don't think it was ever fully realized. And again, I mean, what do you expect? You know, they were doing literally, they were pushing the system and everything, doing everything they could. So I think, but it, you know, hindsight's 2020. I just always think of the ideas that, like, what ideas were they having during development that could have been brought to full fruition. Look at Sheik, not doing anything. And then she's like, oh, get back, Link. I totally am gonna not be useless right now. Oh, boy. Alright, so this is, I always like this part. Again, I always think these parts are cool, because this never happens again. You never see Kakariko on fire before or after this. That's a weird HD texture of that. That looks so strange. That's so funny. Oh, Link just got violated. Yeah, in the original, it looks like all hazy and stuff, but with the high res, it's weird. It's just like a vertical texture. Oh, what happened? Oh, don't worry, Link. I totally fought it. Yeah, it was crazy. After you got knocked out, I really did a number on that thing. You wouldn't believe it. Kakariko Village is always my favorite, one of my favorite parts of any Zelda game. And I know, I've actually not Twilight Princess. I thought Kakariko Village and Twilight Princess was ugly as shit. I thought a lot of the stuff in Twilight Princess was ugly as shit. But I love this Kakariko Village. I love the way it changes from adult to kid. I love that there's all kinds of different side quests you can do. From adult to kid. I love Windmill Village in Wind Waker. Or Windmill Island, whatever it is. With, which is basically Kakariko Village. That's like one of my favorite islands in Wind Waker. I don't know, I just like the little, like, calm, bustling towns. It's got the big windmill. I just always think that stuff's really cool. I also question with that stuff I was talking about before with the Wind Temple in the sky and all that kind of stuff, or the Sky Temple, whatever you want to call it. This is the area where you develop the skills to use the cuckoos to, like, float around and stuff, right? With the early side quest. And then there's the windmill here, too, with the Song of Storms that you learn and everything. So I wonder, like, how much of all that was, like, originally a part of that whole Temple in the Sky thing. I don't have... Oh! Right. After you beat the Forest Temple, you're supposed to go back. Because that's when you can keep doing side quests back and forth now. I never went back to the Temple of Time and talked to Sheik. Oh, well, it's right here. Don't worry, Kakariko Village, I'm coming for you. So next up is the bottom of the well, which there's some interesting things about that I do know. Again, more trivia that I have. Also, the bottom of the well in the Shadow Temple is the scariest part of the whole game. And it frightens me. So it's like technically my least favorite part of the game. And also, when I say like least favorite part or part that I don't like or whatever, I don't really hate anything about this game or really even truly dislike anything. I just mean like in comparison to, like, I love this game and I love so much about it. And so when I think about the things that I love in comparison, the Shadow Temple scaring the piss out of me always just kind of, it's always lower on my list of things that I love. Yeah, sorry, Sheik. I know I was supposed to come back here a few episodes ago. Many episodes ago. But I know we just had that encounter in Kakariko Village, and that's cool. But yeah, this is another interesting thing. I brought up Game Grumps before, and Aaron from Game Grumps has talked about Chrono Trigger being one of his favorite video games of all time. I think he said it's his favorite RPG. I could be mistaken, but he loves Chrono Trigger. And one of the things he loves about Chrono Trigger that I think is actually, I agree with, the time travel mechanic in it, especially for its time, is really cool because the things you do in the past affect the greater timeline of the future dimensions or whatever. So like when you do things in the past, you go back to the future and things have changed and there's like all the different timelines you go through, which is cool. This game does the same thing to a lesser degree, obviously. But I still think the point stands. So I think, again, it's another interesting fact that, like, I think Aaron should replay this game. If Game Grumps ever gets to see this, I advocate Game Grumps replays Ocarina of Time. It's been like 6 years since they played it. I advocate they replay it in HD. Maybe even the 3DS version or whatever. But play that on the channel. And I just want to see what, I'd love to see his reaction. I'd love to see him do the side quests. And just really play it and not go in with such a negative mind frame. Because I feel like he would actually feel differently. Oh, look at the puppy. Come here. Yeah, come on. I like this side quest. This is a little heart piece side quest. You got to find the dog. And you got to make him follow you around. And then you bring him back to his owner. It's a cool... see, look at him. He follows you around. And then you got to go to like one of these back alleys. And you got to tell the lady. I think it's this house right here with the lights on. You got to be like, hey... Your dog, I got it. See, I love this. Like, I love that. I think this actually... Oh, yeah. This is exactly where you go. You bring her dog or whatever. See, I love that. Like, I love that this town feels... This world feels alive with that. I think that's really cool. Hold on. Hold on. What's your deal, dude? Look at him. What the fuck are you looking at? Asshole. You got a problem, dude? What are you looking at? Go to bed. Dude, I'll cut you. I'll cut all these dogs down here. Hold on. I gotta remember the song now. This is the one song that I don't remember by heart. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Even that song, it's so unsettling. Which, there's something intriguing. And I'll say this last point before I go. The music in this, Koji Kondo, he breaks the rules of music, I guess you could say. And he, oh, there's a problem coming up. But anyway, I'm not a music expert, but he breaks the rules by, like, changing, like, notes and going from, like, you're not supposed to go from certain flats to certain sharps or something like that. But he does it anyway during, like, bad guy music. And during, like, that Nocturne of Shadow song, he, in the songs that are supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, he changes where the notes are supposed to go. Where is it? I know this isn't a good example, but, like, those notes, you shouldn't be going from that, like, that left C to the right C. Like, there's certain jumps that shouldn't be made that aren't harmonic, and, like, they hit the ear the wrong way. So he jumps just enough notes to, like, make your ear feel uncomfortable, because it's not like, it's jarring because it doesn't travel the way it's supposed to on, like, the staff. So that's part of what, like, he still knows how to make one smooth, cohesive melody, but he makes it in a way by jumping certain notes just to give you that subtlety of discomfort when you're listening to it. So it when you hear music like that, or like Ganondorf's theme or stuff like that, you feel discomfort because the notes are jumping around in ways that your ear doesn't like to hear. It's very intriguing stuff. You should look it up. But anyway, hold on. Before I go, I will actually look and see, because I think... Okay. I'm going to say this real quick also before I go. You're not supposed to get the Song of Storms in... Oh, okay. Nope, I messed up. Yeah. You're not supposed to get the Song of Storms in the 3-heart run. But I was trying to think, you have to do the Song of Storms right here. I'll explain in the next episode. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys.